Welcome to the Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, a podcast where everyday Chicago guys light up a fine cigar and get everything from sports and current events to hobbies, life's little moments, and everything in between. Whether you're here for the cigars, the conversation, or just some good laughs, we've got you covered. So grab your favorite smoke, settle in, and join us for some laid-back chat with a Chicago twist. Now it's time to put some smoke in the air. Oh. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
We should tell everybody it's not Tuesday. It's not Sunday. It's Thursday. And we decided to come to you guys live for a PCA recap discussion. Not that any of us were there. Sheldon might join us. He was there. But none of us were there. But the news coming out, there's a lot of it. Some of it we've talked about. Some of it we haven't. But we wanted to sort of go over it so you can hear it from us live. And then start pestering your local brick and mortar for some of these cigars. So what's been going on with you, Teddy? We haven't seen you in a while. Marty, I just saw you 2 days ago. So what's going on with you, Teddy?
We're just here.
You know, being busy, being tired. I got off of work while you guys are, doing the podcast. I kind of listened to you trying to. I was kind of busy, so I kind of logged off towards the end. But I've been good. Smoking cigars, working.
Nice. Yeah, it's crazy.
How you guys doing? How you doing, Marty?
I'm good. All recovered from my travel. Looking forward to the weekend coming up. And gonna try and get some yard work done.
Yeah.
Probably have to cut the grass for the first time this year, I think already.
I cut mine a couple days. I cut mine a week ago, and then I cut the back grass Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget what it was. But I forgot to mention, I don't want to forget to mention again, I am coming to you live from the Aganorsa Leaf Studios in Central Illinois.
All right.
Got that, Teddy. You missed it, or I don't know if you heard on the episode, not the last episode, the episode before. I did get permission. I've officially changed the name to my studio to the Aganorsa Leaf Studio in Central Illinois. I got permission for that, so always good. We're not sponsored yet by anybody, but
that's pretty cool.
My love of Aganorsa outweighs our sponsorship right now. So there's Sheldon. Hold on. There he is.
Oh, we got Sheldon.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, he's sporting the red cloud colors too.
Yeah.
Oh God, come on, baby, come.
That's why this podcast is perfect. We've got 2 and 2. So
yeah, and this is actually just a couple of days ago was Jackie Robinson Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have the Jackie Robinson logo on the side of my hat. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And the Sox jersey, it's got a big blue 42 on the back.
Nice.
So we're doing it nice for Jackie Robinson there. But
Absolutely.
Sox fan the whole time. I went to high school on the north side, and it was the fans, to be honest, that made me a Sox fan. I didn't care about baseball at the time, and the more I hung around with Cub fans, the more I wanted to be a Sox fan. So yeah.
Oh, Sheldon, I like you even more now. Not that I liked you before,
Sweet.
but I like you even more now.
Yeah.
I told the story. I think I told it on this podcast with Marty. The first and only Cubs game I ever went to. Went to it for a bachelor party. We got up there. We got into our seats. And I sat down. And I fell asleep. And I didn't wake up until the 7th inning.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, holy cow.
There's probably somebody next to you that was asleep because they'd been drinking Bud Light since 9 a.m. So it's pretty common, especially out there in the bleacher. I went to high school, like I said, around there, graduated in 88, and the whole bleacher bum phenomenon was in full effect. There were no night games. It was all everybody going there getting hammered at 1 p.m.
Yep.
And back when Wrigleyville only had the Cubby Bear and Sluggers. It's nothing like it is now. It's it's kind of nice to hang out there now, but back then, the true blue Cub fans, the struggling Cub fans, they know what it was like. The hard times were real back then.
Oh yeah. No, Sheldon, we do have a baby among us. Me, you, and Marty are the old timers, but we do have a baby among us. He doesn't even know what the Cubby Bear is.
Oh wow. Yeah, I gotta apologize. I keep forgetting about Teddy's youth, his wonder as to the success of the Cubs nowadays. No, we remember when it was pretty ugly. It's been ugly for Chicago baseball in general, though. I was thinking about that on the way up here. Cubs have won 3 World Series. White Sox have won 3 World Series. I like to joke about how the Cubs had a 108-year streak between World Series, but the Sox had an 88-year World streak. That's nothing to be proud of, Right. And then, just last year, a lot of my Cub fan friends want to keep pointing out how the Sox had the worst season in baseball history. It's one season. I get it. It was bad. There are reasons, but yeah, Chicago baseball has been just a thorn in our side. The only good thing about it is come August, we all kind of forget our allegiances and we root for the Bears together.
Yeah.
So,
yep, exactly. Well, it's good to have you here because you actually were at PCA.
I was.
So
I was.
Why don't you give us a little brief recap of, I know you spent most of your time in our buddy's booth, but
yes.
Why don't you give us a quick little, because from everything I'm hearing, the aura at PCA this year was really good, that people were excited and that there was 50 new exhibitors there, 50 new cigar companies there. And
so many new cigar companies, and that's kind of that was kind of it was good and bad for me, and I'll go into it. So PCA Professional Cigar Premium Cigar Association, they had their trade show in New Orleans this year. It was just this past week, and like last week into this week, and I was kind of fortunate on a couple of levels. First of all, I was down there representing Black Star Line cigars. We've talked about it in the past, out of Chicago. I was at the last one when it was at Vegas, and it was not as vibrant as this one, like you said. There was definitely an energy. There was the attendance was crazy. I mean, it was very crowded. The day I was there, I have to put my disclaimer in. I was only on the floor during the show for one day, because I had to leave and, drive back up to Wisconsin because I had the honor and privilege of teaching a couple of classes up there on power system design. Oh, wow. So that was nice. But Eric and the guys, they stayed out there. The booth has gotten so much bigger. It was very elaborate. We had a lot of attention come by, and, we took a lot of orders, which is good. But once or twice, I got a chance to walk around, and man, some of these cigars, I mean, I'm fairly new in terms of, recognizing brands and stuff. I know all the big names, big factories. Just kind of cutting my teeth on the small batch and more boutique stuff. But I've never heard of a lot of these brands ever. Mm-hmm. And, grabbed a couple of samples. I can't even think of any off the top of my head that really stood out. They were decent. Some of them I'm letting sit because I was instructed to do so. Like, these just kind of came out. You might want to let them sit for a little while. So that's what's going on. Obviously, the big guys were there. We were very close to Espinosa. Aganorsa Leaf was just right up the aisle there. One of my good friends used to work with Blue Mountain Cigar, and they were kind of around the corner. They had a nice booth, and so overall, it was great. Now, the downside, outside of the fact that I was only there for a day, is I was actually stuck at the booth for the majority of the time. So if I had that additional day or two, I could have moved around. The exhibition hall was enormous. And when I tell you from one end to the other, there were no empty booths. There were no, well, this vendor should have shown up and they didn't. Everybody was packed. We had a nice little after party on the first day. We're in New Orleans. It was nice out. So we've got the, the Cajun and Creole food. We had the second line band come through. We're outside. It was beautiful. We're smoking, drinking, having conversations, having a great time. I mean, for the little bit of time that I was there, it was absolutely amazing. And I'm pretty sure, I believe it's going to be in New Orleans next year.
Yep.
So yeah, I heard rumors that it's like 2 on, 2 off between New Orleans and Vegas. I'm not sure about that, but if it is in New Orleans next year, it'll be, it'll be my pleasure to go down there. And, sidebar, my daughter goes to school there. She attends
nice.
Xavier University in Louisiana. So got to hang out with her a little bit, have breakfast, talk, get caught up. So yeah, overall, it was a great trip. I just wish I had more feedback as to some of the brands, but honestly, I was just grinding for a Black Star Line the whole time.
Yeah, no, and that's that's definitely understandable. You gotta work where you gotta work, and we know Eric appreciates it, needs all the work. Anthony Savalier, glad to see you join us. We appreciate you being here.
Anthony.
So yeah, I mean it's great. I was participating in a live after dark that the person interviewed Eric, and so I was sort of helping this guy out along the way because he didn't remember too many of the cigar names, so I had to sort of chime in and throw my expertise in there. So, but it's good. It's excellent. Yeah, I heard next year definitely is in New Orleans, and then I think the next 2 or 3 years is back in Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it's from everything that I've read and heard, PCA 2025 was a standout year.
Absolutely. Head and shoulders above last year. It was so much. I went last year, and the reason I brought up empty booths, like there were none this year, there were a lot of folks that didn't make it out last year that were on the program, and that was kind of a disappointment. So this year there was none of that. It was definitely a full house.
And I think they found, I would love to know, but I think it's more because it was in New Orleans. So I think it was, it's not the best cigar smoking town, but at the same point, I think it's more centrally located and a lot easier for people to get to than to Vegas, and it's probably more economical, so.
Definitely economical.
Yeah, but what we want to do is sort of go through and highlight some of the companies. There's a lot of information out there. It's going to, we sort of talked about this a couple weeks ago a little bit on some of the brands, but I think from everything I can see, May is going to be an expensive month. There's a lot of releases coming out in May. Out in May. So
gotta get ready.
Yeah. So Teddy, you wanted to talk about crown heads, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm like really excited to see they changing the whole logos, bands, and everything.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting to see. I'm smoking a crown heads right now. The yellow rose, the Connecticut bar leaf, torpedo size. I love crown heads. I'm pretty sure Marty smokes a lot of crown heads that you do, Mike.
One right now.
Really?
Got the Tennessee Waltz here.
Oh my God! I was about to grab that. I was about to grab the Tennessee Waltz, but it was on top of it, the yellow road. So hey, great minds think alike. I see Marty representing right there, Black Star Line. I like that hoodie a lot, and crown heads at the same.
Yeah.
I was just noticing that. That's the one color combination I cannot wear, just because it is a rival fraternity to mine. So I keep trying to get Eric to get a couple black and gold ones out there, but he keeps harassing me. So, but yeah, I'm so glad to see that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Crown Heads has got the Blood Medicine limited edition. That's out already. That came out in March. 3 sizes.
Broadway.
What's that?
They have a new cigar called Broadway.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And the only one, actually, now that you talk about blood medicine, sorry to interrupt you, is the blood medicine is going to be the only one that's not changing the bands or how it looks like.
Yeah, I think they just made that decision in late. They probably made it in January, but those cigars were already resting and ready to go. So, and just for reference, so we don't have to keep saying it tonight. Anytime we reference price, we're referencing the Toro, unless we tell you differently. So like the Broadway comes in the Robusto Extra. It's a 4 3/4 by 52. An Epicure, a 5.5 by 56, and the Toro 6.5 by 54. And the MSRP on that is $12.95. So it's not a bad cigar. It's not a bad cost for a cigar. So, but yeah,
I feel like those new bands are making the cigar stand more. Because some of the cigars, like La Imperiosa has like a little band, and now I believe there's gonna be 3 bands on the cigar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I've got
it's
pictures here. If I can find them, I'll try and bring them up. You guys go ahead and talk.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, he's doing a lot. They had a change in some positions and stuff like that. So it's good. It's good to see them rebranding and making their band stand out and their logo stand out a little bit more. So it'll be a good time for them. I don't think there's anything to worry about. I think Crown Heads, they could have a banner year this year. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what's happening.
Let me see if
I find it.
Yeah, let me see if I can share my screen here.
We're all getting into that. We're trying to make this thing work out better and better, and
yeah,
we're finding out there's more and more technology we don't know. So,
Yeah, there's always more technology.
Can you see that?
Always more.
No. Oh, here we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, right there. That's the Broadway, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the Broadway. They all have this C now with the crown on top.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good. I like the way that looks with the little blue footband on there.
Yeah.
And this is the
La Imperiosa, right?
Imperial.
Yeah, that's the La Imperiosa. Yeah.
So they changed that quite a bit, and this is the Mil Diaz.
Mil Diaz changed too. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know if I'm wrong, but it kind of stands out more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because there was a little change. Somebody, I don't remember the exact name, but somebody took over for Crown Hands, right? Somebody came.
Nope. Somebody stepped down.
Somebody stepped down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a good thing. There's no problems with that, and it's some good moving over. The next one I'm going to throw up there, and I know this is a shocker, but I like the look of this cigar. So I did a little bit of research on. We're talking about Gurkha here for a second. Gurkha's got a couple different coming out, and it's they've got the Gurkha Collection Especial. That's going to be a regular production. It's got the Ecuador wrapper, Mexican Sumatra binder, USA Connecticut broadleaf filler, and also an undisclosed Habano Seco and Ligero. So that'll be interesting for them. And then they've got what they're calling the Dragonfly. And this is the one that sort of caught my attention. I was
yeah, the box is really nice. It looks really nice.
Yeah. So let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see here. Let me see. There's that right there. That is a nice looking. It is a sharp box. The MSRP on the Dragonfly, it's a 6 1/4 by 52. That's the only one that they're releasing for this. That's the only size, $17.50, and that's out. That's supposed to be out here in April. So, yeah, nice looking cigar, nice looking box. Packaging definitely gets attention from people. So,
those look like cigars suitable for the Jedis, for Jedi Knights.
Yep. Or for those people up north in up in St. Louis, or not St. Louis, Seattle.
Yeah. That lime green there.
Green. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Illusione's got some stuff coming out. And it's good to see that they're not, Fred's no longer with them, but they've got the Epernay Tanola. I'm probably butchering that one. So that'll be out in May. And then they've got a group of 5. So they've got the next Latola in the group of 5. And that is made by my boys at Aganorsa.
Really?
Yeah. Aganorsa is doing some work for Illusione. So there's no information on when that's coming out or anything like that, but that's in the works. So that's always that'll be exciting. And it's nice to see. It's like I said. It the more I watched, the more I read. It was like, holy cow! How can there be so much coming out this year versus last year? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's way more. I mean, maybe wrong, but it's way more.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's going to be an expensive May and June coming up trying to buy some of the cigars.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let's keep this ball rolling along. This is interesting packaging. We just talked about interesting packaging from Gurkha. Let's talk about some interesting packaging from Espinosa. Check that out. That's their war.
Wow. Really? Looks like the bomb from 1945.
Yeah, and that is the packaging for their cigar.
Mm-hmm.
For all the La Bamba series, the La Bamba Warhead 1, the La Bamba Warhead 6, the La Bamba Warhead 11. That's their packaging for those.
Yeah.
That is
we had that flat can this year. It's in 3D.
Yeah.
Really? Are they also releasing a La Bamba for 4th of July, correct?
Yes, I got a picture of that.
Okay.
Good question, but I do. But yeah,
I did not see that. That's pretty cool, dude.
You're going to have people going crazy just for that box alone or for that packaging alone. That's what they're going to buy it for. They might not like this. I'm sure. I mean, Eric Espinosa and his Lazona group are madmen for these things, but I think this thing is going to sell out fast. It's regular production, but the La Bamba Warhead 6 is a regular production. The La Bamba Warhead 1 has got 1,500 boxes, and the La Bamba Warhead 11 has got 4,000 boxes. So, but I think you're going to see all those go pretty fast, pretty quickly.
The last Warhead with the yellow bomb, was it the 11? You said?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that I bought. We bought Ultimate 6 boxes. They flew all right away off the shelf.
Yeah.
It's kind of consistent with their brand, isn't it? Because, a lot of the cigars, the bands, they'll have like that tiger face that you would see on the fuselage of a fighter plane or something like that. So, yeah, I like the fact that they're keeping that kind of lineage going. They're kind of in the same, in the same arena with that. But that packaging was really impressive looking.
Yeah. And it's funny because the 601, the Warhead 1 and the Warhead 6 are basically almost the same, except the 6 is focused. It's focused on balance, and then some signature strength in there. So
how many cigars is it going to be?
The 6 has got 1,500 boxes, and the Warhead 1 has got 1,500 boxes. So,
and then how much each box?
I didn't write down the MSRP per cigar is $15.
Okay.
So, and they usually come in boxes of 20. And I don't know that doesn't look like that didn't look like size big enough for 20. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a package of 6.
No, because I thought the previous one, the Warhead, the 11, came out with 12 or 13.
It could have. It very much. Yeah. It very much could have. It very much could have. And then this is your Independence Day.
Yes.
That's your Independence
Day. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, the Independence Day. Yeah.
Yep. And that's an MSRP of $18. 2,500 boxes made. So, and I'm sure those are going to go out to their prime.
Is it a Super Toro?
I didn't say. I didn't write it down. I just have that the MSRP is $18 and 2,500 boxes May 2025. So it's way out ahead of Independence Day. So they want to get this in the hands of people quick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
It'll give us some rest, or give us some aging.
Yeah. And then the knuckle sandwich, there's 2 blends for them coming out. The chef special, that's 2,000 boxes in April or May. That'll be out at $18 for MSRP. And then the Puro Puro. Oh gosh, I am gonna get Marty. Just start laughing at me now. The Puro Nicaragua. And so it's wrapper, binder, filler, all Nicaraguan. Toro Robusto Gordo. The MSRP is $14.50, and that's a regular production. So that'll be a regular. So the knuckle sandwich Puro will be a regular production. April or May that'll be out. So
I like that duo, man. Guy Fieri and Eric Espinoza going together making cigars. I mean,
I'm gonna yell at you like I yell at everybody. It's Fieri.
Fieri.
Not Fieri.
Yeah.
He'll knock you out. He'll knock you out.
Una Italian, hello.
Yes. So, and then let me see here. I thought I had. Oh, I did. Okay. This is the one I'm most looking forward to. And sorry I'm dominating the conversation. You guys can tell me to shut up whenever you want.
I like it. I'm learning.
The Perdomo Legacy.
Oh,
so
yes.
He's and when I was doing the reading on this, and we talked about this is what I'm looking forward to the most. This is probably going to be a definite purchase, and I'm not sure which one because they've got the Legacy Nicaraguan Shade Grown, which is what you're looking at there on the screen. For those of you listening on Spotify, it's a cigar made by Perdomo with a Legacy band on it. It's a Nicaragua wrapper, a Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler, a Robusto and an Epicure 6x54, and a Churchill, and then a Gordo Gran Bellicoso. So the Epicure, the MSRP is $13.50, which isn't bad. That's not bad for a Perdomo.
Not at all. Yeah.
And that'll be out in May. And then they also are releasing the Perdomo Legacy Ecuadorian Connecticut. So the wrapper's an Ecuadorian Connecticut seed. The binder's a Nicaraguan shade-grown Cuban seed, Cameroon seed hybrid. The filler's Nicaragua. And again, an Epicure, same makes as the Nicaraguan, but the Epicure is MSRP of $13.50. And again, that's a regular production. So Perdomo is going to be doing some regular productions here. I mean, that Legacy one is supposed to be a really good cigar. Everything I've heard, it's supposed to be top notch. Oh, and then the last one they've got is the Perdomo Legacy Nicaraguan Maduro. Same exact thing, same exact blend, same exact cost, $13.50.
Do you know how aged the tobacco is? Because I know he always when he made the 30th anniversary, that tobacco was aged 10 years. If I'm correct or not.
I didn't see it. I didn't see anything in the comments. But they've been working on it for a while. So I would not doubt that this is a 2 or 3 year aged cigar. I would, so yeah. So interesting. Definitely good. And it's gonna be interesting to see them come out. The 30th was hard to get, so it'll be interesting.
You know how we talked about it, that even Perdomo had raised the prices. That's not a bad price. I mean, $13.50 is not bad at all.
No. That's again. We were talking about this on Tuesday. That fits into a budget for a weekend cigar. If you want to smoke 2 of those, one on Saturday and one on Sunday, you're only spending $27 on 2 cigars. That's not bad at all. That's definitely doable. The one I wanted to talk about, I don't have any pictures for it because I didn't realize this. And maybe you guys, maybe Sheldon, maybe you knew it. Villiger cigars. So Villiger, there was some talk to them about the tariffs that were going into place. And Villiger's concerned, and I didn't realize this, but Villiger's concerned because all of their cigars are machine made. which I did not know. I did not know they're machine made, and they're machine made in Switzerland, I think is where I saw it. Is that Switzerland or Sweden? One of the two. So they could have a tariff as high as 31%. So they have basically put their people on notice to get as many cigars to the States as possible right now. They want their cigars over here to avoid these tariffs because a 31% jump for them. I mean, again, you're not talking about a lot, but at the same point, you're talking about more than what you would normally expect. So and they've got 2 cigars coming out this year. They redid the La Capitana, so they redid that one. It's an Ecuadorian Connecticut seed wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and a Dominican Republic and Nicaragua filler. Robusto, Lonsdale, Toro, and Churchill for $10.50, and those will be out in May. And then their premium, the Villiger 1888 Grand Reserva, with a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, Ecuadorian Habano binder, and a Nicaraguan filler. The Grand Reserve is a 6x54 at $22, and that'll be out in May. So, you're definitely going to get you're definitely going to have to take a loan out come May, or else you're going to have to go back and listen to our broadcast on Tuesday and figure out how to do a budget.
Yeah, that's I never had any cigars from them. Maybe
No,
I
neither
did.
have I.
Yeah.
I didn't. And Bob the Cigar Guy was smoking one. Their evening podcast or evening broadcast was sponsored by Villiger, and he was smoking the La Capitana, and he enjoyed it. So it definitely piqued my interest. And at $10.50, I'll definitely seek that one out. I'll seek a couple of those out, and it's a regular production, so that fits into our category for cigar reviews and for the cigar end of the year list. So I'll definitely be trying to find that one. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any of the ones that you guys?
Yeah,
I know.
I got
Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah. Let me present my screen. I want to show this. Actually, just let me show this window. This was a picture from Half Wheel. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Toscano. Apparently, they had some people rolling cigars there.
Oh, wow. From Italy? Did they come over from Italy?
Maybe. They look like they might be Italian, but I thought that was cool. This is a cigar ashtray. This is a 1911.
I looked at those.
Oh my God, that's cool.
I don't know. I don't like that. And maybe it's just me.
Apparently, these are like real sight rests.
Yes.
And you can put your actual pistol handles that you might not be using on the side here.
Yeah.
And then this ashtray thing is like part of a hand grenade or something.
Is that from a specific brand from like a cigar? What's the name of the brand?
It's a company. It's a company. Okay. And yeah, I saw it, and I was not I don't want to say I was not impressed, but I thought, man, I don't know. And I don't know if that's something the cigar industry wants to, I don't want to say show off as much as they do, but I just thought, man, I don't know if that's the right image to be thrown out there. I'm trying to find it's called. No, that's not it. I don't think that's it. What?
I mean, I kind of dig it, but I know what you're saying though. For like the picture,
the name of the company, but they called this the 1911. It was a prototype, so I don't think. It's,
okay.
Yeah.
Is it stick to stick? Is that the one stick to stick?
Oh, is it the stinky ashtray or no?
No, not stinky ashtray. No.
Okay.
I don't think it was them.
Okay. I saw it come across, and now you're gonna make me try to find it.
I mean, I like it. It's just I get what you're saying about the picture. If say 21, 22-year-old kid, smoking cigars and to see that, but I kind of tried, but again, it kind of like it's freedom, man. I mean,
yeah, no, it's funny because I see those pictures where guys are posting their cigars with their guns and their knives, and I'm thinking we fight enough to try to keep things at a certain level, and I'm like, man, if we don't want to have to do battle on those type of things. I'm thinking, man, it's just I don't know,
It's kind of a double-edged sword when it comes to firearms and stuff, because it is so much a part of the culture as to adults. But you're right. We have to be careful, because there's the responsibility of who's seeing this that might be influenced in some sort of negative way that was unintended, that we had no idea that was going to be the case. So I understand what you're saying as far as this kind of presentation, but at the same time, as adults, as responsible firearm owners, it's just a bad deal that we're held responsible for every kook out there that may do something crazy.
Yep. And here I'll show, and it's called I just had it and I just jumped off of the stupid thing. It's Stogie Mag. Yeah, Stogie Mag is the name of it. Yeah. But here's the other one. That
Bob was showing that other thing they had, the actual plastic spring-loaded cigar magazine.
Here's the other one.
Oh man, that's going above and beyond right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you have like an MSRP for these, or they just like?
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up while we're talking here. But yeah, I just was like, and again, I'm not knocking them. I'm not saying it's bad, but at the same point, it's like going, oh God, guys, you gotta, I just get nervous, and Sheldon's right,
it's not something you would want to like take around and take to the lounge. Right.
No,
you're kind of asking for it at that point.
Yeah. The 1911 ashtray, the pistol handle ashtray, that price is to be determined. It's supposed to be coming out in the summer of 2025. The rifle is a one-off piece that they have, and
So the rifle is like an ashtray holder also, and then you could put something looks like it, like a box of cigars, or.
I think that's like they have that's a humidor. So I think that's a 3 or 4 count humidor that's in this thing right there. So yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting, but
in the accessory world, I've seen that quite a bit. Like I've seen people have repurposed ammo cans as humidors and things like that. And, like I said, that's fine for the adult responsible, firearm enthusiast. But, optics are everything. And, it's very easy to say, it's a very short distance between guns and cigars, and somebody out there is going to try to make that correlation as soon as something goes south. As ridiculous as it sounds to us, stranger things have happened.
I mean, look what they did. Look what they did with Joe Camel. I mean, Joe Camel was all of a sudden you're targeting kids. And it's a camel.
It's been a camel the whole time.
Yeah, but you come up with a character, you come up with a cartoon
because it was animated. Yeah,
else too.
What's that, Marty?
A lot of people say it looks like something else too.
Yes,
it does. It absolutely does.
Yeah. Well, and then that's the big thing with Chillin' Moose. They're afraid with Chillin' Moose that's sort of pushing, and they're afraid that that's going to, get some people's attention and bring some heat onto the cigar industry going. What's your purpose behind chilling moose. You're trying to attract kids.
The people who did the Cookie Monster cigar, they got a lot of heat for that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, and the group that we're all a part of got in trouble for their Coca-Cola looking cigar band. So, yeah.
Since we've kind of moved on to this topic, I wanted to share a story real quick. A couple of years ago, I went to Ottawa in Canada for business, and of course, I'm in Canada. Let me check out some of the cigar shops, see what the lounges are looking like, and so forth. So, first thing I found out, and it's the same in Toronto, basically in the province of Ontario, there are no lounges to speak of. Pretty much all the cigar shops are grab and goes, right?
Oh, wow.
And that's part of the law as to Ontario. Now, Ottawa is across the river from the province of Quebec. And Quebec is completely different. You know, over there they've got casinos and gentlemen's clubs where you can smoke inside. They've got sit-down lounges, the whole thing. But to the point of targeting to kids, I went to this spot down the street from where I was working, and I'm not, this is a different topic. I'm not a huge Cuban guy, but I haven't had a lot of Cuban cigars. But I'm like, I'm in Canada. Let me grab a couple of Cubans, see what's going on. First of all, these cigars were not kept very well. So the few that I got, I picked up Bolivar and Ramon Alones, which are some that I'm familiar with as far as other tobaccos. But while I was there, he had all the Cuban cigars on one side and all of the non-Cuban cigars on the other side. And as I'm looking through the selection, the owner of the shop was actively pulling every band off of every cigar and replacing it with a nondescript brown wrapper with white lettering that basically said what that cigar was. And I asked him, I was like, why are you doing this? It doesn't make sense, you know. You know, the artwork on the band is, you know, part of the draw in some cases. And he said, very angrily, I might add, the government is making me change these bands because the colorful nature of them may attract children.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, what kids are in a cigar lounge or looking through a humidor saying, oh, that one looks really cool. It reminds me of an X-Men comic book I have. Let me grab a box of those. No kids are in cigar lounges getting turned on by bands. So, understandably, he was very frustrated. And I just thought it was the weirdest thing. And, sidebar, every cigar in there was at least 30 to 40% higher because their taxes are crazy. It's always greener on the other side of the fence. Everybody's like, oh, they have Cubans and this and that. It's like the Cubans were like $150 and they fell apart as soon as I started smoking them. So it's a crazy thing. But I just wanted to bring that up when you were talking about, looking out for kids.
Yeah, that's crazy working at the lounge. And I'm like, okay, well, I got a new batch of cigars coming in, new boxes. Oh, I got to take all the bands out now. Put them back on the box.
Every single one, Teddy. Every single one.
So let me ask you this. Did he use the same box to put them back inside, or they have their own boxes or their own displays?
There were generic cardboard boxes.
Oh,
so all of the artwork that might go into a wooden box that the manufacturer had to spend money to design and manufacture and package all nicely, just like the the Jedi box that we just saw. All of that goes in the trash. And it's going to be a plain white cardboard box, or some of them were just sitting on the shelf in stacks, zero presentation. Wow. So I just thought it was nuts. It was nice, at least. So there were 2 chairs. So I guess I was fortunate enough to be able to sit in a parking lot in a strip mall and smoke, as on a plastic folding chair, as opposed to a nice leather chair inside of a lounge. It was crazy.
A few words in Canada, as a cigar company, is really hard to sell your cigars because due to the fact that happens. That's insane.
Yeah.
A lot of roadblocks, and this guy was very upset about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is it like a new law? that it started. That's great. I never heard that. That just blows my mind.
Before we jump any further, I know Marty wants to talk about something. Let's remind everybody about our sponsor. Hey, Chicagoland, are you ready to step up your eyewear game? Whether you need stylish sunglasses, prescription eyewear, sports glasses, safety gear, or even color deficient glasses, there's only one place to go, Eyewear Fix. For over 28 years, Eyewear Fix, Chicago's premier sunglass and eyewear store, has been your go-to for everything eyewear related. No gimmicks, no waiting rooms, just top-notch products, expert service, and private concierge-style experience tailored to your schedule. Need an exam? Bring your prescription. Want variety? They've got price points for every budget. And whether you're a weekend warrior, a safety-conscious worker, or just looking to turn heads with your perfect shades, Chris has got you covered. Remember, Eyewear Fix is by appointment only because your time matters. Call or text anytime to book your visit. Don't settle for ordinary. Get eyewear that fits your style, your needs, and your lifestyle. Call or text 630-853-4167 to schedule your exclusive visit. Eyewear Fix. See the world your way.
And a piggyback, that's nice. And a piggyback on that, he moved to a bigger suite in the back of that building. And next episode I'll send you some pictures, and it looks very nice. More space in there. It looks really, really nice.
And then also our other sponsor is Ultimate Cigar Lounge in Villa Park. Stop in, see Teddy. Sheldon's usually hanging out in there somewhere, so you can stop in and see Sheldon. But see Teddy, he works there. He'll get you all set up with some great cigars, some of these new ones that are coming out. And it'll be a great time. It's a great place. It's a great place to hang out, smoke, watch some baseball, watch some basketball. Basketball season. We're in the finals, the NBA finals. So it's a great place. Lots of good places to sit and watch TV, and excellent ventilation.
Yeah, I'm here now. I'm here usually 3 to 4 times a week. I live pretty far, and I pass a lot of lounges to get here. And I tell people I drive 30 miles to get to this lounge for a reason. It's an amazing space.
Absolutely. All right, Marty, what do you got for us?
All right. Another thing I thought was cool was this Artista ashtray.
Nice.
I like the look of that. That looks really cool.
Yeah, that's slick.
Yeah.
I like that. I like because the ashes fall down, right?
Yeah.
So that's nice.
And when I saw that, I really liked it, because usually when you see an ashtray, a cigar ashtray is going to be 1, 2 to 3, cigar where you can rest your cigar. This one has a lot of resting places.
Yeah,
like all I can see, what is it, 3, 6,
9, 12.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's really, really cool concept.
Awesome.
The problem though for that, you probably have to take it off to empty it, right?
The silver part probably comes off.
Yeah, the silver pump. Okay.
Yeah. Which is actually nice too, because you can take it off and keep your cigar resting there while you empty it out and bring it back. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Did it tell you what the cost is for that?
No.
I didn't see a cost.
Okay.
Here's another thing I thought was pretty cool.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
So a trunk humidor.
Yeah.
That thing is huge. Man,
That is pretty sweet.
In there.
It is nice.
Any idea of what the capacity on that is?
I do not know, but they apparently have an Aviator series of cigars. So this is kind of in line with the Aviator back when people used to travel with trunks.
Yeah, steamer trunks.
I bet you it's like a 1,500. If the size
I bet
you it's 1,500.
And
Which I always love that.
It has additional. Is there like cases on the side that you can take off?
Is there
like a travel case or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or maybe they sell those separately. I don't know.
Yeah. Nice.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought this one was the coolest picture I saw from the show. So this is apparently there was some Carlito Fuente in the day. He had bull testicles.
Oh, jeez.
Like plastic bull testicles in one of his display
Wow.
cases. he decided, I think this was the day before the show, that it didn't look exactly right. So he took it over and he was splashing red paint on it to be like blood.
It's all about the present. It's all about the presentation.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Is this supposed to mean? Does it mean something? I mean,
No, it's
or
just display. It's probably to make his booth a little bit more standoutish. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Shock value in the cigar world. Got to be different.
Yep. I'm going to mention a cigar brand here. These guys have really been on my radar lately. JC Newman. And they're doing something. They've got a couple different cigars that are coming out. They've got the Angel Cuesta Shade, Nicaraguan wrapper, undisclosed binder, undisclosed filler, the Double Robusto, the Toro, and the Salamone, the 7 1/4 by 57. MSRP is $21. Of course, it's May of this year. They've also got the Diamond Crown Tampa, USA wrapper, USA Connecticut shade wrapper, Dominican Republic binder, undisclosed filler, 6 by 52, $30. So
that's some American made.
One. Yeah, that's a 2025. But
is it going to be added to? Is it going to be so you're going to, because the American from JC Newman is the only one that's made in Tampa. I know that. So it's going to be basically now 2 sticks, right?
I don't think it's made in Tampa. I just think it's got the USA Connecticut shade, and they're calling it the Diamond Crown Tampa.
Okay.
So, but the one I wanted to talk about is this one, and I can't even pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. But this, just to quote, so this line is said to have first been rolled in 1900, while the trademark was filed in 1916. It was originally known as the Aromatic Cigar, which you see on the box, something that Drew Newman said that he loved for years and has been wanting to bring back for some time now. It was blended by Newman's and Rich Dolick, the company's VIP of operation, and Newman says this is the most flavorful cigar the company's ever made. It's an Ecuadorian wrapper, undisclosed binder, undisclosed filler. It's a Corona, a Robusto, a Toro, and a Churchill. And here we go, Marty. Back to Tuesday. The MSRP for this is between $8 and $10.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very reasonable.
Yeah, and I definitely want to try this one.
I wish it was like 10 or 15 cents like the paper says.
Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? But I gotta believe there's probably some pipe tobacco in there. If it's an aromatic cigar, I've got to believe there's some pipe tobacco in there, and that's why they're not disclosing the filler or the binder. But
so that's a good competition for Mr. Steve Saka.
Yeah,
for his Stillwell collection.
I'll tell you something about him in a second. But they've also got one more. They got the Tampa Smokers. And this is interesting. So it's an Ecuadorian wrapper with a Connecticut seed, and a USA Connecticut broadleaf binder, and undisclosed filler. But there's 2 sizes, the Toro and the baseball bat. And the baseball bat is 7 by 52 by 42. So it's got to be some sort of tapered cigar.
It's got like a little knob at the end, like a baseball bat. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And the MSRP is $20. And it's out now. It's out in April. So it's out as it comes out. But as you're mentioning Mr. Saka, he's got a ton of stuff. I didn't even get to his.
Yeah, Saka has a lot of releases.
But he's cutting back on a couple of SKUs. And he let it out that when it comes to pipe tobacco, gosh darn it now I can't see the name of it.
Stillwell collection.
Stillwell.
The Bayou.
Oh, the Bayou.
The Stillwell Bayou is gone.
What?
He's getting rid of it. It's the lowest seller. It's one of the lowest sellers that he's got.
That's the one I like.
Yeah, the number one, which I love, is one of his best sellers. That's staying there. But yeah, and I think Steve and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, they're putting out so many SKUs right now. It's only a matter of time you got to start cutting back on some of this stuff. You can't put quality out there when you've got that many SKUs. And I think he's doing it right. So
yeah. Otherwise, you end up like Rocky Patel with like 500.
Yes.
SKUs. Yeah.
And then
True Estate.
Yes. Yeah. They just released the Dominicana. So that's got the sweetened tip. It's not an aromatic cigar. It's just got a sweetened tip.
That was the freestyle live stick.
That was the freestyle live stick.
Part of the.
Is this something like the new Cuba?
No. This is where they're starting to focus a lot of their attention in the Dominican Republic. So this is a Dominican wrapper. I forget what the binder and the filler are, but yeah, and it's just got a sweetened tip. And if I don't know how many of our listeners are aware of the term safari or safari style to smoke a cigar, but that's cutting off the tip and smoking it backwards. Don't smoke this when it's lit, but smoke. So if you don't want the sweetened tip, just cut off the tip, flip it around and smoke it. You're going to get a different experience. But yeah,
Show us.
I've never heard of that.
Show us with the lit cigar. I want to see that.
It's funny you say that, Sheldon, because I know who invented that term. It was actually invented during a Drew Estates event, and Bob the cigar guy was down there, and some woman was having a problem smoking a cigar, and she flipped it around and started smoking it the wrong way.
Wow.
And they were on a Drew Estates safari. And you know, you're smoking it safari style. That thing took off. That term is taken off, and you'll hear people say that all the time. Flip it around and smoke it backwards, and now they call it safari. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know,
if I saw somebody doing that, I'm generally not the advice giver in the lounge. But if I saw somebody doing that, I'm like, hey, you're doing that wrong.
Yeah.
And then they'd say, no, this is the safari style. Haven't you heard? And I'll be like, no. So now I learned something. Now I'm prepared. When I see that, I'll know not to say anything.
And the interesting thing is, from what I've heard, I haven't done it, but it's a whole different smoking experience because of the way the cigar's made.
Yeah,
you're getting a whole different experience. So I would not recommend it on expensive cigars. I would not recommend it on. But
we'll get our practice in on some seconds.
I tried it on a Fat Bottom Betty.
Oh, did you?
I wanted to see how it would taste without the sweetened tip. I didn't like it as well.
No. There you go.
At least with that.
Interesting.
I thought the Fat Bottom Betty. So the Fat Bottom Betty is just a sweet. I thought the whole cigar was the sweet.
That's what I thought.
The cigar has aromatic tobacco in it. All the Deadwood line, except for this new one, has aromatic tobacco in it, but they all have a sweetened tip as well.
Yeah. It's all pipe tobacco. And it sort of went off of that line. So the last one I'm going to talk about is the El Mago cigar line. I think you and I talked about this on our show a couple weeks ago, Marty, and the whole idea behind that cigar line, that cigar company, is the idea that he started the line up after his parents were killed in a hotel collapse in Miami. So this new one he's releasing is called the El Mago Jaguar. And it's a wrapper. It's an Ecuadorian Sumatra seed wrapper, a Mexican San Andreas binder, and a Nicaraguan filler. The title, or the cigar name, and Sheldon will appreciate this because there's actually some purpose behind the name of the cigar. His grandmother used to drive him around in a Jaguar in Miami. So this is sort of named after his grandmother and the Jaguar. So it's a 6x50 is the cigar, a Jaguar cigar 6x50, $17. And that'll be a regular production coming out in June. So as you get through May, you're going to find that June, we've got some cigars for you coming out. So
yeah, I love to hear the backstory of cigars and where these names came from, and what the inspiration was. We just talked about the Safari, now the Jaguar. Yeah. I spent a lot of time at PCA explaining the name. Where Black Star Line came from, where Cigars Are a Daily Operation came from. Every cigar in the line has a story.
Yes.
And it's incredible because it's part of the culture to discuss this, and where'd that name come from? That's weird. I never heard of that. There's generally going to be a story and some history behind it.
And it's funny because one of the people that interviewed Eric, I was giving him some inside details and sort of sharing some of that information so that when they were interviewing him, they'd never interviewed him before. So they're like, I've never interviewed Eric before. So I said, well, here, let me, I know him. I've known him enough to be able to give you some inside details. And so that's what I was saying. I said, make sure you ask him where the name of his cigars came from. That's because it's not a pull out of the air. Oh, this sounds like a good name for a cigar. There's purpose and reasoning behind those names. Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the things I really enjoy about Black Star Line is you sort of learn history as you smoke the cigar and as you research those cigars. It's like, oh wait, and we're a Chicago podcast, So it fits us perfectly because there's always some tie
Absolutely.
to Chicago. So yeah, it's exciting.
Definitely.
Marty,
Have
what
you
do got
heard?
for us?
Did you hear? I'm sorry, just very quickly. Did Eric tell you about the new release, the Metalwood?
No.
Yeah,
Break it
let's
down.
talk
So-
about it.
I'll be very brief with this. So it was released at PCA for existing customers. Full production is underway. We just had samples, so pretty much it's going to be released very soon.
May.
The full name is the Emmawood, probably May, June, absolutely. Along with everything else, get your credit cards ready. It's called the Metalwood MLK.
Okay.
And it's basically in honor of Martin Luther King. Did you know that prior to Martin Luther King heading to theology school, he worked at a tobacco farm in Connecticut?
It
called
came up
the
during a
Metalwood.
podcast. Yes, it came
Yep.
up during a podcast. Yes, I did.
Yeah. So the band, it's a beautiful band. It's black and gold, which is the color of Martin Luther King and my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And on the band, you see the barn and the field of tobacco. It's such a beautiful
nice.
band. So
Nice.
yeah, right into the history, like you're saying. I've been hearing about Martin Luther King my entire life, and I'm only a couple of months old in knowing that fact.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
amazing information.
It's a piece of trivia that is floating around the cigar industry right now. I think like wildfire. I think it's literally. I mean, because I've heard it a couple times in reference to Black Star Line and that cigar. I didn't know the name of the cigar, but it was the conversation of Eric's releasing a cigar. Black Star Line is releasing a cigar, and it has to do with MLK. And people were like, we never knew that he worked in tobacco fields. So
I did not know. That's pretty cool information.
Yeah. The deep dive that he did to pull that bit of information is just incredible by itself, you know.
Yeah,
and the blend is amazing.
And we're going to work on getting Eric on our podcast. I think we've perfected a lot of stuff right now. We obviously can't have 4 of us on here, so that's a big plus. So we will start to see in the next couple of weeks and months, we'll start having guests come onto our show, and we will grill them. And Eric will not like being on our podcast because it'll be like a homecoming. It'll be like, wait, I know all you guys. You know, so,
exactly.
What do you got?
You know what is the blend going to be for that cigar?
So from what I can recall, the filler actually has 4 different tobaccos. It's got Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, and Peruvian tobacco, I believe.
Wow.
So very, very complex. I would give it medium plus. I believe the samples that we had were a Robusto style, a Robusto Vitola. So yeah, it was so new, and more information to come, obviously, but it does have the 4 tobaccos in the filler. That's the main thing I can remember. It may have a Corojo 99 wrapper, but I'm not certain of that. But there is a lot of complexity to that guy. You know, we had some spirits, obviously going a little Scotch, a little bourbon. We always try to find the perfect. There it is. Mm-hmm. That is the band, and it's crazy. But we always try to find the perfect pairing for all the cigars. We've nailed down the first 5: the El Milagros, the War Witch, and the Lalibela. The others, the Rosewood 1923, Mr. Fahrenheit, and Maroon, we're still kind of working on those. At least I am. I'm more of a Scotch guy. Eric has become a bourbon guy, but he's well versed in both. So we're looking. We're willing to do the research to figure it out.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward. I'm looking forward to having him on the show and picking his brain and finding out some stuff we don't know about Eric. So what else you got for us, Marty? Anything?
I thought this was interesting because I didn't catch it before the show. So EP Carrillo is renaming to Casa Carrillo.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that at PCA as well.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
Wow.
I wonder what the
he's got don't his kids work with him or something? So
yeah. So I mean, okay. Well, House of Carrillo as opposed to his name, I guess. So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
A nice thing I saw from the PCA news before you guys continue to Oveja Negra is Padron. I don't know if you guys have a slide of the Padron display. It was a really nice big display that they did a really good job on it.
all of the booths were unbelievable from what I saw, and I think everybody can be proud of what they had at PCA. I don't think anybody skimped out on anything.
Yeah,
I don't see. Yeah.
Pretty
Oh wait, here
cool.
we go.
You got a picture of it?
I do. Hold on one second. Let me see if I have the. Yep, here we go. Hold on one second. We are like lightning around here tonight. It's nice when we have 4 people, so you don't feel like you're trying to scamper onto something here. Yep, I don't need that. But let's see. Share screen. Share screen. Holy cow. Here we go. You guys seeing that? Sorry.
Not yet.
There we go. Let me add that to the stage. There we go. So that's it right there.
There he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it was big.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge footprint right there for them in the world of. Yeah, I don't see anything else, and I don't want to share the video. But yeah.
Yeah, it was only they had basically have like one release, right? I think is the they have one new release. Is it PB90?
I can tell
I
you.
think it's called.
Here. Yep, the PB99 Natural. Nicaraguan wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler. It's a 6 3/4 by 60. Holy good God. $44 a cigar.
Yeah.
$44 a cigar.
Those
Wow.
PBs are a little expensive.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they also have the Maduro, the PB Maduro, 99 Maduro. Same thing, $44.
Natural Maduro, classic Padron.
Yeah. Q 2025. So the third quarter of 2025, those will be out. So.
Okay.
Anything else? Marty, you got anything else up? Teddy disappeared.
I just saw this
Teddy
today.
Yeah, Teddy dropped off. He'll be back.
Yep.
Yeah. I just saw this today. Oveja Negra.
Oveja Negra? Yeah.
Yeah. They bought somebody. So is this
I saw that.
Is this the first purchase of the year?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And especially for them to be bringing in another brand. That's it's interesting. You know.
So I wanted to ask you, so they purchased Apostata cigars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Very, yeah.
I think this year is going to be a year for some other buyouts. I think there's going to be some other. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, I think, a couple months ago. But Southern Draw, I think, is primed, and I think there's a couple other ones that are primed to make the switch over and be able to. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh, there's a talk that someone's going to buy Southern Draw.
Southern Draw has been up for sale, or I think they're entertaining anything that comes along to them right now.
They were talking about being ready to sell, I think.
Yeah,
possibly.
So, but excellent. Is that it? Do we have anything else?
The only other thing I wanted to mention is if you want to get a chance to win some cigars, Half Wheel has a contest on their websites. They have one really good, like a $2,000 Davidoff package you can win. All you got to do is go comment on their website.
Yeah.
On their booth
reviews.
Yeah. Just if you make a comment on every booth review, you get one comment per booth review.
Yeah.
So, and
you entered into the drawing.
Into the drawing. So
yeah,
I've actually won them before.
There's quite a few. There's quite a few different contests.
Yeah, there's like one for each day. So I think they have 4 different ones.
And that's all by Half Wheel?
Half Wheel, yeah.
Yep. and we appreciate Half Wheel and all their information they put out there. Bob the Cigar Guy and Chief will be having theirs coming out. They started today. They did their first release of information from Drew Estates. It's not really a interview, but more of a highlight. But those will be coming out on YouTube. So we don't have that content, but we're pushing people to that content because I value those guys and their interviews, and it's been great. So
Cigar Dojo has a post PCA show tomorrow night.
they do, and they're smoking like 8 cigars. I don't know how they're smoking 8 cigars in an hour and a half, but
They must have already smoked. I think they each smoked. They got like 4 cigars each, and they've already smoked probably 3 of them. That was my guess.
Gotcha. They are reviewing the JFR 25. So
Yeah.
I did see that on their list. Terrence, you're welcome.
Have you smoked? Any of you have smoked anything from? I know, obviously, Sheldon was there, but Marty or Mike, have you guys had any chance of anything that it was released before the PCA and then also got released the PCA and then you guys smoked it or no? I mean, Red Solita, I know, Marty, you smoked, right?
We smoked it.
Yeah.
We smoked it Tuesday on the show. Yeah,
Mhm.
we smoked the Red Sweet on the show. No, nothing yet. I've got a couple things in the humidor that are waiting. We're smoking the Knuckle Sandwich 57 on Tuesday. So we'll be talking about that. That just came out. And then the Lure cigars, the Escoro. There you go. Wink, wink, nod, nod. We'll be smoking that the following Tuesday. So, and no, I mean, I'm stocking up on. I've budgeted. Back to Tuesday's show. I've budgeted money for a lot of these releases. Our philosophy here, for anybody listening to us, we will be doing reviews. My philosophy is it's got to be a new release and it's not a limited production. That's how I'm going to put my list together. Is they've got to be a regular production cigar. They have to come out in 2025. So if it comes out in Q3 or Q4, I don't care. I know some people cut it off. I think a lot of people cut them off in November. If a cigar comes out after November, they don't put it in there. 2025 is 2025, January 1st to December 31st.
December 31st.
So,
yep.
yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. We're looking forward to it for our listeners. I think it's fun for us to dive into the realm of cigar reviews, and I think you got 4 guys on this podcast that have 4 very different palates. And you are going to see, as we review stuff, you're going to get probably the most wide-ranging reviews that you're going to get. Now, I will say the Solita Red, I can't wait to smoke the second one.
Yeah.
Can't wait to smoke the second one. It was good. And I smoked that on a clean palate. That was a clean palate on Tuesday. So I think, man, the next one I've got to smoke on a clean palate as well. But
What's the MSRP for that one?
the MSRP is not the problem. The availability is the problem.
Okay. Yes.
He's
They're
selling
back in
out.
now.
Huh?
Yeah, and speaking of availability, speaking of 2025 releases, what I'm smoking right now is the 2025 release of the CAO Amazon Basin.
Oh yeah,
I just went through a box. I think this is my last one, and based on what you said, with the Amazon Basin, it feels like it's a limited release. But I think that it might have more to do with just the demand because they sell out so quick and then you can't find them. I had a guy in the lounge make a comment that the tobacco looks a little older because we just got through with the extra añejo last year. And to me, the flavor profiles are very similar, which means that, if I held on to a couple of them, which I should have, based on our aging podcast, Teddy, that you and I just did, I should have hung on to a few of them, let them sit for 6 months to a year just to see the difference. But for this to be a brand new release, it is as good, if not potentially better, than the extra añejo and even the one, the previous release. So I like the idea of doing these new releases, particularly if it's following up something that came out a year or two prior, so we could do that compare and contrast.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's fun. The wheels have hit the ground. We are running. This is episode number 21. So this is we're enjoying this. We hope you guys are enjoying it. We're hoping to get more listeners. If you are listening to us on Spotify, jump over to YouTube, subscribe and like our page, subscribe and like our videos. We have an email, chitowncigar@gmail.com, chitowncigar, CHITOWN, cigar@gmail.com. Email us, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. We didn't do any today in Chicago history because this is sort of a pop-up show, so we didn't want to get too bogged down, but we really appreciate everybody being here. We hope to see you. Are you guys broadcasting on Easter, or is this replacing your Sunday show?
Basically, yes. That's what I wanted to say. That's basically replacing, we got Easter and the holiday coming up, and this is a good opportunity that we did it today and not on a Sunday, because I'm going to be busy on Sunday. The Greeks love the lamb.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I got to wake up early.
That is the rumor.
Yeah, help out my family. So, yeah.
And then Tuesday, if you guys can join us, but Tuesday is going to be our pre-draft show. We are going to draft the top 10 cigars, new releases that we think are going to be in the top 10 list going forward, not for us so much, but in the Half Wheel consensus list. So we are going to pull together all of these cigars that are being released, not smoked them. We haven't smoked them. I mean, other than probably the Red Salida, we haven't smoked any of these new releases, and we are going to blind draft the top 10 cigars for each of us that we think will be or place somewhere on the consensus, the Half Wheel consensus list for 2025. So that should be fun.
And that'll be to Tuesday, 7:30 or 8 o'clock live.
7:30. 7:30 live.
Beautiful.
7:30 live. So, and if you guys want to shoot us your list, if you're not going to be here, shoot us your list, and we'll put you up on the we'll put you up there. So it'll be fun. Again, we appreciate everybody joining us. It's been a great show, gentlemen. Until next time.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you for joining.
Yes, sir.